I thought I was done. Not in a sad way, not in a giving up kind of way, just done. I'd worked for 50 years, raised a daughter, built a decent life, and when I turned 65, I retired from the lumberyard where I'd spent the last 30 years. My boss threw me a small party, gave me a plaque. People said nice things, and then I went home, and that was it. I thought retirement would feel like relief, and it did, for about a week. But then the days started to blur together. Wake up, coffee, read the paper, putter around the garage, watch TV, go to bed, repeat. My wife, Nancy, she kept herself busy. Book club, church activities, volunteering. But me, I didn't have much going on. I wasn't miserable. I wasn't depressed. I was just existing, and I'd accepted that. This was my life now. Quiet, simple, done. Until one Tuesday afternoon in September when my neighbor, Paul, knocked on my door. "Jonathan, you got a minute?" "Sure. What's up?" "I got a cabinet in my kitchen that's falling apart. I know you're good with wood. Think you could take a look?" I almost said no. I almost said I was busy, even though I wasn't. But something made me say yes. "Yeah, let me grab my tools." And that small decision, that one moment of saying yes, changed everything. Welcome to Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. Listen while you drive, work, or simply seek inspiration. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. This is my story, the story of how I thought I was done, until someone asked for help. And I discovered that the most important part of my life was just beginning. Chapter 1. The Quiet Years. I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania. My father was a carpenter, a good one. He built houses, cabinets, furniture, anything people needed. I used to watch him work when I was a kid. The way he measured twice, cut once, the way his hands moved with such precision. He didn't talk much, but he taught me everything. By the time I was 16, I could build a bookshelf with my eyes closed. "Jonathan," he'd say, "a man who can work with his hands will never go hungry." He was right. I met Nancy when I was 23. She was a waitress at the diner where I used to eat lunch. Pretty, quiet, had this smile that made you feel like everything was going to be okay. We got married a year later, and a few years after that, our daughter Emma was born. I worked hard, took whatever jobs I could get. Construction, carpentry. Eventually, I got a steady job at the lumberyard. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. Nancy stayed home with Emma, and I provided. That was the deal. And it worked. Emma grew up, went to college, got married, moved to Ohio, and Nancy and I, we adjusted. It was just the two of us again. For a while, that was okay. Nancy kept busy. She had her routines, her friends, but I noticed something changing in her. After Emma got married and moved, Nancy seemed quieter. She smiled less, talked less. She'd sit at the kitchen table with her coffee and just stare out the window. "You okay?" I'd ask. "Yeah, I'm fine," she'd say. But she wasn't fine. I could see it, but I didn't know what to do about it, so I did what I always did. I went to the garage, and I worked on things that didn't need fixing, because it was easier than facing the silence. Chapter 2. The First Request. Paul's cabinet was a mess. The hinges were loose. The door was hanging crooked. The wood was splitting. "How long has it been like this?" I asked. "Couple months. My wife's been nagging me to fix it, but I'm useless with this stuff." I smiled. "It's not that bad. I can fix it." It took me about an hour, tightened the hinges, replaced a few screws, sanded down the rough edges. When I was done, Paul tested the door. "Jonathan, this is perfect. How much do I owe you?" "Nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, let me pay you." "Paul, it took me an hour. Don't worry about it." He looked at me for a moment, then smiled. "Well, thank you. Really, I appreciate it." "No problem." As I walked back to my house, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Useful. 2 days later, Paul's wife, Karen, came over. "Jonathan, Paul told me what you did. Thank you so much. It was nothing. It wasn't nothing. He's been putting it off for months. You saved our marriage." She laughed. "Actually, my friend Linda has a bookshelf that's falling apart. Would you mind taking a look?" I hesitated, but then I thought, why not? Sure. Tell her to give me a call. Linda's bookshelf turned into 3 more requests: a wobbly table, a squeaky door, a broken porch railing. All small things, easy fixes. But each time I finished a project, I felt that same thing: useful, like I mattered. One evening, I was in the garage organizing my tools when Nancy came in. "You've been busy lately." "Yeah, just helping some folks in the neighborhood." "That's nice." She stood there for a moment, watching me. "Jonathan?" "Yeah. Do you ever feel like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing anymore?" I looked at her. "What do you mean?" "I don't know. I feel lost. Emma's gone. You're retired, and I don't know what I'm for anymore." My chest tightened because I knew exactly what she meant. "Yeah," I said quietly. "I do." She nodded, didn't say anything else, and then she went back inside. And I stood there, wrench in hand, and thought, maybe I'm not the only one who needs to feel useful. Maybe we're both just trying to figure out what comes next. Chapter 3. The word spreads by October. I was getting calls almost every week. Someone needed a fence repaired. Someone else needed a shed built. Another person needed help with their deck. I didn't charge anyone. I didn't want money. I just wanted something to do, something that mattered. One afternoon, I was working on a deck for an older woman named Mrs. Patterson. She was in her 80s, lived alone, widowed. "Jonathan, can I get you some water?" "I'm okay, ma'am. Thank you." She sat on her porch, watching me work. "You know, my husband used to do this kind of work. He loved it." "Yeah?" "He said there was something honest about building things. Something that lasted." I paused and looked at her. "He was right," she smiled. "I miss him every day. But seeing you out here, it reminds me of him, in a good way." I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded and kept working. When I finished, Mrs. Patterson tried to pay me. "Please, let me give you something." "No, ma'am, I don't need anything." "Then let me make you dinner. You and your wife, please." I hesitated, but something about the look in her eyes made me say yes. "Okay, that'd be nice." That Friday, Nancy and I went to Mrs. Patterson's house for dinner. She'd made pot roast, homemade bread, apple pie, and we sat around her table and talked, really talked, about life, about loss, about what it's like to get older. Nancy laughed more that night than I'd seen her laugh in months. On the drive home, she said, "That was really nice, Jonathan." "Yeah, it was." "You know what I realized tonight?" "What?" "You're doing something good. Helping people. It's making a difference. I'm just fixing things." "No. You're doing more than that. You're showing up. And that matters." I didn't say anything, but her words stayed with me, because maybe she was right. Maybe showing up was enough. Chapter 4. The Invitation. In November, I got a call from Pastor Mike at our church. "Jonathan, I heard you've been helping folks around the neighborhood. Just small stuff, nothing major. Well, I was wondering if you'd be interested in helping with something at the church." "What kind of something?" "We're starting a community outreach program, helping low-income families with home repairs they can't afford. We need someone who knows what they're doing, someone who can lead." "Lead? Pastor, I'm not a leader." "You don't have to be. You just have to show up and teach others how to do what you do." I thought about it. Can I think about it? Of course. But Jonathan, I think you'd be perfect for this. That night, I talked to Nancy about it. "What do you think?" I asked. "I think you should do it." "You sure? It'd be a couple days a week, maybe more." "Jonathan, "You've been happier these past few months than I've seen you in years. I think this is good for you." "Yeah. But what about you?" She looked at me. "What about me?" "You've been, I don't know, sad since Emma left." She was quiet for a moment. "I have been sad, but seeing you come alive again, it's helping." "How?" "Because it reminds me that we're not done. We're just starting something new." And in that moment, I realized, maybe purpose isn't just about me. Maybe it's about showing the people you love that it's never too late to start again. Chapter 5. The workshop I said yes to Pastor Mike. And the following week, we started the community outreach program. We called it Hands of Hope. The idea was simple. Identify families who needed help with home repairs, gather volunteers, teach them basic carpentry and handyman skills, and get to work. I didn't know if anyone would show up, but on the first Saturday, 12 people came, young guys, older men, even a few women, all willing to learn. I started simple, taught them how to use basic tools, how to measure, how to cut, how to sand, and then we took on our first project, building a wheelchair ramp for a veteran named Mr. Davis. It took us 2 days, but when we were done, Mr. Davis rolled his wheelchair up that ramp with tears in his eyes. "Thank you," he said. "You have no idea what this means." And I realized, this is why I'm here. Over the next few months, we took on more projects, fixed roofs, repaired porches, built ramps and rails. And with each project, I saw something happening. Not just in the families we were helping, but in the volunteers. They were finding purpose too. One of the guys, a younger man named Marcus, pulled me aside one day. "Jonathan, can I tell you something?" "Sure." "I've been kind of lost lately. Lost my job a few months ago. Been feeling pretty worthless." "I'm sorry, man. But doing this, it's helping. It's reminding me that I still have something to offer." I put my hand on his shoulder. "You do, Marcus, you absolutely do." And I realized, purpose is contagious. When you find it, you give others permission to find it too. Chapter 6. Nancy's turn. One evening in January, Nancy asked if she could come with me to one of the projects. "You sure?" I asked. "It's pretty hands-on. I want to help." "Okay, but you don't have to build anything. Maybe you could just, I don't know, talk to the families, see what they need." She smiled. "I can do that." The next Saturday, Nancy came with me to a project. We were working on a single mom's house, fixing her front steps and repainting her porch. Nancy didn't touch a hammer, but she did something more important. She sat with the woman, her name was Maria, and listened. Maria told her about her kids, about her struggles, about how hard it was to keep everything together, and Nancy just listened. When we were done for the day, Maria hugged Nancy. "Thank you, not just for the porch, but for listening." Nancy's eyes were wet. Of course. On the drive home, Nancy was quiet. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, I'm good." "You sure?" "Jonathan, I think I found it." "Found what?" "What I'm supposed to be doing." I looked at her. "What do you mean?" "I've been so focused on what I lost when Emma left. But today I realized there are so many people who need someone to just be there, to listen, to care." "You want to keep coming?" "Yes, if that's okay." "Of course it's okay." She smiled. And for the first time in months, I saw the light back in her eyes. Because purpose doesn't just heal you, it heals the people you love too. Chapter 7. The Ripple by Spring. Hands of Hope had grown. We had over 30 regular volunteers. We'd completed nearly 50 projects, and we'd helped dozens of families. But the thing that surprised me most wasn't the work we were doing. It was the connections we were making. Volunteers became friends. Families we helped started volunteering themselves. The community was coming together in a way I'd never seen. One Saturday, after we finished a project, Pastor Mike pulled me aside. "Jonathan, I need to tell you something." "What's up?" "This program, it's changing lives. Not just the families we're helping, but the volunteers, the church, the whole community. It's not just me, Pastor. It's everyone." "I know, but you started it. You said yes when you could have said no." "I didn't know what to say. I'm just glad I can help." "You're doing more than helping, Jonathan. You're showing people what it looks like to live with purpose at any age." That night, Nancy and I sat on the porch. The air was warm. The stars were out. "Jonathan, yeah, I'm proud of you." "For what?" "For not giving up, for finding something that matters." "I didn't find it, it found me." "Maybe, but you said yes." I thought about that. She was right. I'd said yes to Paul's cabinet, to Pastor Mike's invitation, to every request that came after, and that small act of saying yes had changed everything, not just for me, but for Nancy, for the volunteers, for the families we helped. Purpose doesn't just change your life. It ripples out and changes everyone around you. Chapter 8. The Reflection. It's been 2 years now since I fixed Paul's cabinet, and I'm not going to tell you everything is perfect. It's not. There are still days when I feel tired, days when I wonder if I'm doing enough. But those days are fewer now, because I've learned something. Purpose isn't about doing something big, it's about showing up. It's about saying yes when someone asks for help. It's about using what you have, your time, your skills, your presence, to make someone else's life a little better. Nancy and I are different now. We're still the same people, but we're lighter, more connected, because we're both doing something that matters. She started a support group at the church for women going through transitions, empty nest, retirement, loss, and I'm still leading Hands of Hope. We're both busy, but in a good way, in a purposeful way. Last week, Emma came to visit. She hadn't been home in almost a year, and when she walked in, she looked at us and said, "You guys seem different." "Different how?" Nancy asked. "I don't know. Happier, more alive." Nancy and I looked at each other and smiled. "We are," I said, because we'd stopped waiting for life to give us purpose, and we'd started creating it ourselves. Conclusion: never too late. I'm 70 years old now. I don't have a job title. I don't have a paycheck. But I have something more valuable. I have purpose, and that's everything. So if you're watching this and you think your useful days are behind you, if you think retirement means fading into the background, if you think you're too old to matter, I want you to hear this. You're not done. Not even close. Purpose doesn't have an age limit, and you don't have to go searching for it. Sometimes it finds you. In a neighbor's request, in a phone call, in a simple question, "Can you help?" And all you have to do is say yes. I thought I was done. I thought my best years were behind me. But I was wrong. Because the most important work of my life didn't start until I was 67 years old. And if I can find purpose at 70, you can too. So don't give up. Don't fade away. Don't assume you have nothing left to offer, because the world still needs you, your skills, your wisdom, your willingness to show up. And when someone asks for help, say yes. You never know what might happen. This is Good Stories Today, your channel for emotional and inspiring stories. If this story resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. I share stories like this every week, real, honest, human stories about people discovering purpose, meaning, and hope in unexpected places. Thanks for listening, and remember, you're not done yet. See you in the next story.